Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth, and this episode is I named it Ocean, Moon and Inner Tide. So let's start. Tonight we meet, or today, whenever you're listening, we meet where the ocean kisses the moon. Here on Scotland's west coast, the sea is never far from my mind or from the mind. It carves the rocks, it salts the air. Like you can always smell the sea in the air. Sometimes it's really strong, sometimes it's not. It's just fine. And it draws its breath with the moon. Each tide is a heartbeat, ancient and deliberate. Over the past few weeks, we have walked with witches, listened to women's lore, or the lack of it, in Scotland, and wandered through fairy tales that carry old truths. And tonight, we follow the current deeper into the ocean, moon and the inner tide. So sit back and enjoy. Long ago it is said seals were not merely animals, but selkies, sea people, who could slip off their skins and walk on land as human for a single night. One moonlight evening, a young fisherman watched a circle of selkie women dance on the sand. They shone with ocean light, their laughter soft as the tide. Hiding behind a dune, he stole one of the selkie's skin. Without it, she could not return to the sea. The young man married her. They lived together for years, had children. She loved them all, but she never stopped hearing the call of the tide. And one day, her skin was returned to her from where it had been hidden. Her son had watched the father hide it, and he was the one that gave it back to his mother. Good for him. She wrapped it around her shoulders, kissed her children, and vanished into the deep. The legend says she was neither cruel nor faithless. She simply could not deny the ocean's call. To live fully, she had to honour her true nature. So, what does this old story ask of us? Maybe that each of us carries a skin of belonging, something that cannot be caged. The moon and sea speak to the wild, the unbroken self. Every tide on earth is a quiet conversation between two ancients, the moon and the ocean. The moon's gravity pulls the sea towards it, while Earth's own spin creates a second bulge on the opposite side. This slow dance sets the rhythm of every coastline, 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day. But the pull is not only on the water. Research shows our bodies, about 60%, are made up of salt water. Depends who you're listening to. They'll say 70% or 80%. And the salt water responds to lunar cycles. Sleep patterns shift near the full moon. I can attest to that. And there was times I would feel like I had an electric current running through my body. Plants draw sap differently. Coral reefs time their spawning to moonlight. Science explains the mechanism, but not the feeling. The way moonrise can hush a crowded mind, or how a full moon can flood dreams with strange colour. Perhaps, as some quantum theorists suggest, water itself carries memory. It sure does, and a resonance, and a subtle network through which moon and earth converse. The ocean doesn't just receive, it answers. And so do we. Sometimes I think of creativity and life itself, like it's a rhythm, right? And sometimes it's a tide, right? It's a ebb and flow. There are days that are they're just full flow when ideas rush. They rush in like a spring tide, bright and unstoppable. And then there are days of quiet ebb, right? When the shore lies bare and still, and there's a calmness. For a long time I resisted the ebb. I thought stillness meant something was wrong. But the ocean teaches a different truth. The low tide is not a failure. It is part of the same breathing rhythm that makes the high tide possible. Our inner tide, they show up, they show up in many different ways, in a mood, an energy, and a gentle nudge to retreat or rest, or maybe you just want to dance, like lately I dance, I play music and I dance, and the sudden urge to begin again, right? These patterns are not inconveniences to fix, but they're messages, like for a deeper wisdom, asking us to move with nature's pace instead of against it. You might feel it is a quiet evening when you'd rather listen than speak, or a morning when inspiration crashes in before you're even fully awake. Notice these moments. They are the moon at work inside you. They are the ocean, the water. A reminder that we are made of ocean, an answer to the simple pull. When we honour these inner tides, we stop fighting the sea within us. We learn to create, we learn to rest, and to live in rhythm with something ancient and beautifully alive. If you are able, close your eyes for a moment. Feel your breath as a tide. Inhale, the wave arrives. Exhale, the wave recedes. As you breathe, imagine moonlight spilling across a quiet sea. Each inhale draws the moon's silver light into you. Each exhale releases what you no longer need. Let thoughts drift like seaweed on water. You're made of ocean. You are part of this great rhythm, ever changing, never lost. Keep the rhythm going. You can make your own little like a little honor to yourself, respect to yourself when you are like when you know there's a new moon or a full moon like arriving, or like I buy myself flowers all the time. I sound like that, Rick, I don't know. But I do, I love flowers. But anyway, let's see, when you next see the moon rising, remember the Selkie's call and the deep tide within you. You are the ocean speaking to the moon, and the moon speaking to ocean. You're part of an ancient conversation that began long before words and will continue long after. I'm Caroline Bell Tumblety, and thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back again, and may the ocean moon guide your next breath, and may your inner tide carry you home.